Assalamu alaikum. Today I will share with you how you can be the best Muslim parent in a non-Muslim majority country, inshallah. At first, I'll share with you the four frustrations parents have and mainly what they want in the present time. Then I'll share with you the main fears parents have in the long term and the main aspirations parents have in the long term. Afterwards, I'll share with you, I'll go into detail of each section, and then I will share with you what we need to do as parents in the Western countries, and I'll share with you how we can be the best Muslim parents. If you are new here, I'm Junaid. I'm a certified positive discipline parenting educator. I'm a software engineer at IBM Cloud. However, my real mission is helping Muslim parents in the West to raise the future generations. In the last couple of years, I have spent hundreds of hours learning and teaching parenting for Muslims. I have helped almost 100 Muslim parents in the Western countries through my coaching, training, workshop, course, consultation. So let's get started. At first, let us look what the main problems parents face in the Western countries. Mainly, there are four problems. The first problem is that children don't listen. They argue, they disrespect. And you all know what it means. You tell your child to do one thing 100 times, they don't listen. Sometimes they argue with you. Sometimes they disrespect with you. Sometimes they even hit you, shout at you. You know what I mean, right? We face those things a lot of times. The second problem is that parents can't control their own emotions. What does it mean? It means that, for example, your child is crying, showing tantrum, or you are in the supermarket, your child wants something and whatsoever, and you don't know how to calm your child down. As a result, you get stressed, you get frustrated, and then you also start emotional behavior. Like you hit your child, maybe sometimes you shout at your child, sometimes you give YouTube or chocolate or bribe your child, right? So all these things are very bad for the kid. Number three is concerning questions or the big questions kid ask. It starts happening when the child goes to the school. They're 7, 8, 9 years old. They start asking, why should I do this? Why should we follow Islam? Where is Allah? Why can't we do Christmas? Why this? Why that? They start asking or questioning Islam and our rituals or behaviors. And a lot of parents get afraid at that time. And remember, how you respond during that time shapes the future of your child with Islam a lot. The fourth problem these parents face is that they feel stressed, burned out. So listen, you have your work, then you have to work at home, a lot of things, and then you have to take care of your child, and the child is giving you stress, so life becomes very difficult. So these are the main four problems I just talked right now, but there are a lot of other problems parents face. So, but these are the main four categories. And almost all the problems you can fall into one of the categories. For example, if the child is fighting with the other child, it's siblings rivalry. At the time, child is not listening to you. You ask, hey, don't fight with your brother or sister. They don't listen to you. And they don't want to go to the sleep. That's also they don't listen. So you can put any type of problem to these four categories almost all the time, but there are some other special problems. For example, sometimes the parents they don't go with each other. One parent want to parent in this way, another parent want to parenting in another way. Sometimes parents they have some clash, and it impacts the children. Okay, now we look what these parents really want at this moment. So you want from struggle to be a calm and confident parent. You want to parent and raise your child confidently and in a calm way, not with fighting. Then you also want that your children should listen to you and obey you. Okay. Now I'll share with you the long-term fear you have, or the most parents have. The long-term fear, the number one is that distance or disconnection. A lot of Muslim parents in the Western countries, we think that, okay, when the child is going to the school, he's 5, 6 years old, and from that time, he has impact from his school, from his teachers, from TV, and so on, from peers. At that time, the distance with you and your child is increasing. The gap is increasing with you, with your child, because he has a lot of other things to do a lot of other people to help him, right? A lot of other peers connections. And the way now you will handle your child will shape, will the distance or the disconnection will increase or not? Because we see a lot of young people, young Muslim people, when they grow up 18 plus, they leave the home. They don't have any contact with their parents. And another big fear you have is that the Muslim identity. Will my child be still Muslim when he becomes 18 plus? What will happen when your child gets married? What will happen to your grandchildren? Those are the long-term fears. The long-term aspirations we have, let me share that. The long-term aspirations you have is that you need a lifelong bond with your child so that whenever your child faces a problem, he should come to you for advice, for support, for guidance. You don't want your child to go some other place for guidance, for help, because I want my child to come to me. Otherwise, if my child makes a mistakes and he goes to his friends or some other people, they'll not give my child the best advice. I will give the best advice. So I need this long-term bond with my child so that my child comes back to me. And I also want, and you also want, success for your child in the dunya and the akhirah. Now, I'll show you that what we need to do to achieve all these things. What needs to be done? You need to create a strong bond with your child. You have to be lifetime mentor, lifetime coach, and lifetime trusted person of your child. What does it mean? It means that if you can be all those things, your child will come back to you. All the fears you see, I show you all the fears you had, that the distance, if you can be the lifetime, if you can create that bond with your child will come to you. So the distance or the disconnection will be gone, inshallah. You fear that about the Muslim identity of your child. If you can be the lifetime mentor of your child, lifetime coach of your child, if your child trusts you, then if you see something wrong in your child, you can tell him that, hey, this is wrong. And now I tell you one thing, why you trust your mentor, why you listen to your mentor. I have mentors, I have coaches, and I listen to them even if I don't agree with them, because I know they are much more capable and experienced than myself. I trust them. That's why when they give me direction, even if I disagree with them, I listen to them. So you need to create that connection with your child. You need to create that bonding with your child. If you can do that, if you see that your child is making some mistakes, you can tell your child. Otherwise, your child will close the door on your face. Now I will show you how we can do all these things. Look, what you need to do at first, you need to understand the psychology of your child. This is gold. So every behavior has a belief. Your child is misbehaving, your child is disrespecting, your child is not listening to you. There's a belief behind that. There's a belief. Once you understand that belief, once you understand the psychology of your child, you'll see that parenting is very easy. Parenting is fun because now you know why your child is crying now, why your child is hitting the sibling, why your child is not listening to you. And that opens a complete new world for you. Then you need to control your own anger, your own emotions. Listen, if you can't control yourself, then how you can control your child? The thing is, your child is your mirror. If you get angry, your child will also get angry. So you need to control your own anger, own emotions. Then you need to the connection with your child. It's called connection before correction. Dr. Jain tells one thing, that discipline works only when the message of love gets through. Your child listens to his friend. Why? Because there's a connection. You need to create that connection, then your child will also listen to you, inshallah. Only then, when you do all these things, when you understand the psychology of your child, when you can control your own emotion and anger, and when you have created the connection with your child, then you can discipline your child. And here's the interesting thing. To discipline your child, you need different tools. For different situations, you need different tools, different strategies. And I see when I coach a lot of parents, I see that they know the tools, know the strategies, but on the moment they can't apply that because they don't know, because they are overwhelmed and they don't know what to say. That's why you need scripts. The scripts will help you, 1 or 2 line sentence, very small sentences, you know what to say at the moment. That will help you a lot. And you can learn those things using role playing. So in my coaching, in my sessions, in my training, I use role playing. So parents put in the situation, hey, your child is crying, one parent becomes the child and the parent becomes the adult, your child is crying, and this is the scenario, this is the tool, you have to use this tool. So using role playing and coaching workshops, I teach my clients to learn all these things. And remember, there's more. It's called parenting in the Quran. I studied and learned the ayah in the Quran and various hadith regarding parenting. And Quran is our North Star or our guidance. So we have to implement the Quranic wisdom in the parenting. Then comes the mistakes. While coaching and talking with many parents, I have seen that a lot of parents made a lot of mistakes. We should not repeat those mistakes. So you need to learn the mistakes other parents made in the past so you can avoid those. One of the biggest mistakes is that parents don't learn parenting. They buy books, buy courses, they don't follow through those. They buy books, they buy courses, they try to follow through, but their situation is completely different. They don't have any coach, any mentor for that. And a lot of parents don't give significance to their children. And a lot of other mistakes I have seen in parents. They don't collaborate with their child, and so on and so forth. If you know those mistakes and you can avoid those mistakes, that will be huge, inshallah. Then you need to instill Islam naturally, not by force. And inshallah, by following this framework that you understand the psychology of your child, you control yourself, you create the connection, then you learn the discipline tools, then you instill Islam, you know how to instill Islam naturally to your child. If you do all these things, then inshallah, parenting will be much easier for you. So now is the question, when you should learn this influential parenting? Influential, positive parenting, when should you learn? What's the best time? Look, when the child is at the age of 0 to 5, at this time, you are the hero of your child. Your child doesn't know anyone. You are the only person, you and your spouse are the only person your child knows. So they look up to you. So they learn from you. So you are the hero, coach, mentor, everything of your child, and you are the only trusted person. At the age of 2, we call it terrible 2. They start showing some tantrum. From the age of 4, you will observe the kid is now arguing with you, disrespecting with you. You're asking to do something, the kid is not listening, those kind of stuffs. Usually from age of 4, we see those things. Now, what happens from the age of 5? Around about age of 5, 6, at that time, the kid goes to school, right? So the school or kindergarten, those kind of things start. And from the age of 5 to 7, you still have time to influence your child. However, your influence gets reduced during this time. Your influence gets reduced. Why? Because your child is now learning from a lot of different things from a lot of different people. Now, if you go to age 7 to 10 or that age group, your influence gets reduced by far a lot. Why? Because the kid now has TV access, TV, PR, school, all those things, teaching your kid a lot of different things. So your influence goes down and down, and the distance from between you and your child get stretched or get increased, right? From the age 10 to 12, at that time, your kid has a lot of friends outside, a lot of things learned from the school, seniors from the school, teacher from the school, and all of things, and you have much less influence over your child. And when your child moves to the teenage, that is the 13, I have marked as red here, you know, at the time the teenage starts. At the time, from that time on, your child is not a child or kid anymore. He or she is reaching the adulthood, right? It's an adult person already. So at that time, he has his own world, own thinking, all those sorts of things. So now coming back to the question, what's the best time to learn the influential parenting? What's the best time to learn the influential positive parenting? That's the question. And in my opinion, the best time to learn this positive parenting, this influential parenting framework, which I have shown with you just before, this is the time, the age 5 to 10 years old. When your child is 5 to 10 years old, that's the best time to learn all these things. So if your child is 5-year-old or or 6, 7, 8 years old, you have the golden time. This is the time to build a connection with your child. This is the time to make the influence over your child. This is the time to prove that you are the trusted person. And remember, one of my mentors told me, Junaid, trust me. If I say you trust me, then you will not trust me. Yeah, trust doesn't work in that way. You can't say anyone, hey, just trust me, and they will trust. No, trust doesn't work in that way. You have to earn the trust. That's the thing. You have to earn the trust. And you might think, okay, my child, I'm feeding him. I took care of him when he could not walk and go to the toilet. He should trust me. Listen, your child has already forgot all those things. Do you remember your childhood when you were a little kid and your mom used to feed you? You don't remember those things. Even if you remember some sort of things, when you grow up, the bond need to be created in a new way. That's the thing. Your child is growing up, he's erasing his memory, and as I said, that your child uh, has peers and so on and so forth from the school, from the internet, and so on. You need to recreate that bonding once again. And at different age groups, you have to treat in different ways. Otherwise, you might lose your child. That's why I'm saying that if your child is 5 to 10 years of old, that's the best time to learn parenting the positive way, the influential way. And what about the result? So if you learn the parenting in the positive way, will all the problems be solved? Look, here's come tie your camel. What does it mean? It means that you remember that famous hadith where a Sahaba asked that should I tie my camel or I leave it, and should I tawakkul on Allah? Rasulullah said him to tie the camel and tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to do our part. We have to tie the camel. That means we have to do our part. We have to learn the parenting the positive way, the best way, the influential way, as I have showed you. And our parents did the best they had access during their time. We have to do the best we have at our time. And their time and our time is completely how to say, completely different. We're in a different world. You have to understand that. So you have to do your part, and at the same time, you have to make tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember, you get only one chance to raise your child. I want to remind you something very powerful. You get only one chance to raise your child. When it's gone, it's gone. So you must learn parenting. If you want to learn parenting and want my coaching, training, workshops, you can contact with me. You'll find the details in the description. I wish you all the best in your parenting journey. Assalamu alaikum.